Okay, so those of you logged on, hi Bernard. If you have 2 bricks or 2 books or something that might be helpful this evening, just for leaning forwards onto, to bring the floor to you a little bit. We're starting soles of the feet together, knees open. So feel free to just give your knees a little rock side to side. Just going to settle the pelvis into place. And then resting either the hands out to the sides of the body or palms onto the lower torso, so we're connecting with the breath. Breathing through the nose. And just start to work the breath down into the lower space of the abdomen. You're directing it to reach fully into the diaphragm. And as you exhale and you feel the belly draw down towards the spine, see if you can just feel a little bit of ease or release through the front of the hips, the hip flexors. See if you can slow down the breath, allowing it to feel a little bit more nourishing, allowing your body and your mind to just settle into the ground. Settle into one alignment of focus. So the mind is with the body and the body is with the mind. And that is yoga. That is uniting the breath, the body, the mind. And stay present with that just for a few more breaths. If the hands are resting onto the torso, just allow them to come out to the body. Exhale, abdominals to draw your back closer towards the floor. So not using the glutes, just use the abdomen to pull down, so spine connecting with. Then as you inhale, relax again, so belly lifts, the spine arches like a really mini back bend. And as you exhale, pull the abdominals down, so the spine reaches towards the mat. Take one more breath there, inhaling, letting everything relax. And exhale, draw belly down, close the right knee over to the left on that same breath. So you just come into a really gentle twist. As you inhale, open the legs back out again, so knees open like you opened a book with the legs. And as you exhale, bring the belly down to the spine and close the left knee on top of the right one. Keep this going with your breath. Make sure that as you inhale, you come back through that center pose first. Then exhale, closing the knee over to the knee, keeping the shoulders rooted. Inhale, open back out through that Baddha Konasana. Exhale, closes knee to knee. Once more, inhaling through center. Exhale, right knee to the left and holding there. From there, just extend that right leg out to the side. So you can straighten out that right leg a little bit further. Use your left hand to support underneath the leg, just kind of catching hold of it wherever we can. So you feel a bit of a stretch going through that right leg. Try and bring the leg closer towards your shoulders. Push out through the right heel and curl the big toe back towards you. Then just nudge the sit bones towards each other a little bit. So you're just closing the sit bones. You feel the lengthening along that right side of the waist, like you're shifting the right hip bone away from the lower rib. Take a full breath in where you are. As you exhale, bend that right knee, bring the legs through the center point again. As you exhale, draw the belly down and close the left knee on top of the right one, and then extend the leg out to the side, maybe catching hold of it with the right hand, pressing out through that right heel, curl the toes back towards you. And think about lengthening that left side of the waist to shift the hip bone away from the lower rib. On your exhale, bend the knee, bring the legs back center. Bring the knees up to face the ceiling. Just realign your spine into the ground. Bring the right knee in. We'll just take a gentle hamstring release. So bring the hands around the back of the thigh. And we're just working 4 breaths into tense and release. Some of you will be familiar with that. Some of you will have done it on a class with me today already. So your inhale is going to push the leg into the hands and the hands into the legs. So you contract the muscles through the glute and the hamstring. As you exhale, let that tension relax. The thigh draws towards you a little bit further. Again, as you inhale, push the leg into the hands so you're pressing it away. And then as you exhale, let the tension relax. The leg comes towards you. 2 more breaths the same. Inhale, create tension and strength through the leg. Exhale, let it relax towards you. And 1 more. Inhale to press. And exhale, release. Bend that knee. We're just switching sides of that just to get these hammies a little bit looser. So left leg comes in. Hands around the back of the thigh and extend the heel towards the ceiling. Keep the tailbone rooted, the shoulders rooted. Inhale, press the leg into the hands into the leg. Exhale, relax the tension, thigh comes towards you. Inhale, pressing, create the tension, the contraction. Exhale, find the release. 2 more breaths. Inhale, pressing the leg away. Exhale, let it relax. Inhale, press the leg away. Exhale, let it relax. Bend the knee, take the foot to the floor. Come back into that Baddha Konasana pose we started with. So knees just drop out to the sides, keep the soles of the feet together. Interlace the hands together around the back of the head. And just let your head rest into the hands, elbows wide upwards. Get that arch of your spine to stay there as we have the opening. Just using the abdominals, pull the belly down so the spine finds the ground again. Try not to use your glutes or your legs to help you with that. So it's just the abdominals and lift the pelvic floor in. Inhale, let everything relax again. And exhale, draw the belly down so the spine connects down to the floor. We're going to add a lift of the head and shoulders in with that. So inhale, let everything relax. Exhale, use the abdominals to initiate it first, then lift the head and shoulders up off the floor. Keep the gaze lifting up so we're not pulling into the neck. Inhale, take the head to the ground, let the spine relax. Exhale fully, scoop the belly and the spine down, lift the head and shoulders up. Good. 2 more. Inhale, head to the ground. Exhale, abdomen down, lifting head and shoulders up. Inhale, head to the floor, let everything relax. And exhale, scooping up. Let the head and shoulders come back to the floor again and pick the feet up in that same posture so they're just not resting onto the floor. You can bring the knees as close in towards your torso as feels comfortable to kind of stay still in. So the heels might separate, but keep the toes together, knees open. Taking the same breaths again, just 3 breaths. So take a full inhale where you are, head to the ground. And as you exhale, lift the head and shoulders up. Let the tailbone curl up off the floor and try and bring the points of the elbows towards the points of your knees. Inhale, bring the tailbone to the floor, the head to the ground. Exhale, curling up again, like you're folding into a little ball. Bring the elbows towards the knees, knees to the elbows. Inhale, let everything relax. And exhale, scooping in, last one. Good. Keep the legs in the same posture. Just bring the head to the floor. Release the hands from around the back of the head and bring the hands or the arms, wherever you can connect into or spin, so maybe you can see, just to find the inner side of your knees. So you can press the inside of your knees into the arms or your hands. So you create some tension there. Again, keep the knees wide, the feet together. Take a full breath in. Hold the breath, press the legs into your arms, then exhale, pull the abdominals downwards towards the spine. Inhale, let everything relax a little. Hold the breath, press the legs into the arms, arms into the legs, and as you exhale, pull the belly downwards towards the spine. Last one here, full breath in. Hold the breath, pressing arms and legs together, then exhale, pull abdominals down, really switching on those deeper transverse abdominals. Inhale, let everything relax, then just switch the arms. So now you're resting into the outer side of the knees. It can be palms, wrists, arms, wherever connects is fine. Take a full breath in. Hold the breath, pressing them together. Exhale, pull the abdominals down towards the center line. Inhale, let everything relax a little. Hold the breath, pressing hands and legs together. Exhale, pull the abdominals down towards the spine. One more here. Inhale, let everything relax a little. Hold the breath, pressing. Exhale, pull the abdominals down towards the center line. Inhale, let everything relax. Bring the feet to the floor. So you might feel that a little bit of work happening around the hips as well there. So just give the knees a little rock side to side. Just loosen up the pelvis again. From here, I'm going to actually bring yourself up to seated from there. I won't spend too long on the ground this evening. So bringing your soles of the feet together, knees open again. This is Baddha Konasana. You might sound familiar with it by now. Cobbler's pose. Take the fingertips behind your back. So fingers are facing the back of the mat. Spider the fingers to the floor, so it is also wrist friendly for Michelle. Bring the hips nice and close towards the heels, so the knees are kind of pressing open. Little bend into the elbows and squeeze the shoulder blades towards each other. Squeeze the elbows towards each other. Pressing the chest forwards. You feel a sense of lift and opening across the chest. Good. Take a couple of really deep breaths just into that chest space. From there, slowly release the hands to the front of the feet. Now, wherever your arms or your hands can rest into the legs, find connection. Again, I'll keep trying to spin around so you can see, so that you have arm and legs pressing together, a little bit like the abdominals that we've just done. Doesn't matter where your hands are. So take an inhale, adding that tense and release in, press the legs into the arms and the arms into the legs, create some resistance and strength around the hips. Then as you exhale, let the legs relax and use your arms to press the knees out. Lean forwards into it if there's room to. Good. Tuck the elbows in a bit closer towards the body if you're finding that hard to reach. So again, inhale, push the legs upwards into your arms and the arms downwards into the legs. Create the strength. And as you exhale, press the arms in so the knees open out. Good. 2 more breaths. Inhale, create the strength around the hips. Exhale, find the release around the hips. Once more, inhale to press, keep the shoulders down. Exhale, find the release. Fold the forehead in towards the toes. Find any more depth in there. Take a full breath where you are. Feel the expansion of the inhale and the drawing in of the exhale. Slowly from there, rolling up through the spine. Use the hands under the knees so that you don't have to contract the hips as you bring the knees back up again. Use your arms to help you bring them in. Feet flat to the ground and just give the knees a little rock side to side. Just again, ease that out a little. And then roll over into all fours when you feel ready to. So you come into all fours, obviously. Spread the fingers open into the floor, so your palms get a bit of a stretch. And then just take a couple of cat-cow, just getting the pelvis again moving, rolling through the spine. You can take that round in circles or little barrel rolls of the rib cage. Take a few breaths to just bring movement into the body. Changing direction with any circling motions if you're doing any. And then finding roughly your center. Slide your right leg back behind you so the toes stay on the floor. Just press back into that heel. Turn the left shin out so the toes leave the mat. Drop the back heel to the ground. Come into a sort of ported side plank. So drop that right heel into the ground. Now scoop the abdominals in towards the spine a little bit so you're not back bending. Take out any sensation of back bend from here. Bring the top fingers to rest to the back of the head so your right elbow is pointing directly up to the ceiling. Take a full breath in, and as you exhale, turn the shoulders towards the mat. So you take a little twist, pulling abdominals in towards the spine. So look down towards your left hand. Inhale is going to open you back out again. Reach that right elbow high. Exhale, belly to spine, find the rotation. Try to keep your hip bones untwisted. So keep the hips facing the right side of the mat. Keep it going with your breath pace. Take a few more while I'm nattering. Good. Exhales, pull the shoulders round. Izzy, keep that right hip up. Yeah. So make sure it's the shoulders and the ribs rotating, not just winging the elbow around or using the hips. Really try to think about the ribs trying to spiral. Next time you exhale, bring that hand to the floor. Let's just change sides with that. So slide the left leg back behind you. Come into that supported side plank. So the right shin opens out. Drop the left heel to the floor. Left hand lifting. That's it. Root that left heel, and again, just before you move anything else, take out the back bend. So the glutes will activate a little bit, the abdominals will activate a little bit. Take the left fingers to find the back of the head and take a really big breath in. As you exhale, pull abdominals inwards as your shoulders spiral to look at the floor. Try and keep that left hip bone up. Perfect. Inhale to open. And again, keep it going with your breath pace. Keep the neck soft, it's the ribs and the shoulders that are rotating. You might feel a bit of a stretch around the torso as well. It feels pretty good for me. Last couple. Strong through those abdominals. Good, bonus, nice. So on your next exhale, bring that left hand to the floor, come back into all fours. Rah, delicious. Tuck the toes, come into a downward facing dog. And just give the legs a little bit of movement there, paddling. Swing hips side to side, loosen up, stretch your toes. Yeah. So lift the right leg up towards the ceiling. Take a big breath in. And as you exhale, bring that big toe and second toe to hook into the Achilles of your left heel. Use that right foot to press the heel towards the floor, as at the same time you lift your tailbone up towards the ceiling. Michelle, keep a little bend in both knees. Yeah. Good. Take a full breath in where you are. As you exhale, just step the right foot down again into your downward dog. Inhale, lift the left leg up towards the ceiling. And as you exhale, hook the big toe and the second toe to the Achilles of your right ankle. So bring that heel towards the floor. So lengthen. Imagine you're lengthening that Achilles. You reach the tailbone up. Take a really deep breath in. And as you exhale, step the left foot back into your downward dog. Inhale, roll forwards into a plank position. Really broad through the shoulder blades as you travel forwards. Exhale takes you back into your downward facing dog again. Just moving between the two, just for about 3 breaths. Inhale, rolling you forwards. Exhale, lifting you back. As much fluidity through the spine as you want to bring in. Nice, Kerry. Waving through. Next time you come into your plank position, holding there. Bring the knees to the floor and the chest to the ground. So you come into your half chaturanga. Come all the way onto your belly and then reach the hands back towards the feet and take your cobra there. So feet flat to the ground, but reach the fingers back towards the toes into more of a locust pose. Squeeze the shoulder blades together. Keep the gaze down towards that top line of the mat so the back of the neck stays long. Now as you exhale, try and press the feet down into the floor as you pull the belly up. Feel that lengthen the lower spine. Take another full breath in. Exhale, press down through the feet and pull the belly up. One more. Inhale. I know it feels horrible. Exhale, press down through the feet and pull the belly up. Relax everything to the floor. Coming into a pec stretch. So bring your right arm out to the side in line with your shoulder. The left hand is just going to rest to the floor under your left shoulder. Pick up the left toes. Bend the knee. Roll over onto the right side of your body so you open the front of your right shoulder. Now, if you're not getting a stretch through the front of the right shoulder, bring that right arm into a cactus position instead. So bend the elbow, palm to the floor. So Kerry, lengthen that right arm. It's on the floor, flat down, behind you. That's it, good. And really roll onto that right side of the body. Slightly try and lift the rib cage up away from the floor a little bit. So you're pressing down through that outstretched hand behind you. Take a really big breath into the chest space. And gently roll back onto your front. Switching sides, so the left arm is going to be out straight, right hand under the shoulder. Pick up the right toes, and then roll over onto the left side of your body. The arm behind you is straight and lengthening out, unless you're bringing it into the cactus fold for a deeper stretch. Let the head relax down. Sense the underneath sides of the ribs just lightening off the floor, and press down through that left hand behind you. Spread the fingers open. Take a full breath in. And as you exhale, roll back onto your front. If you know you're tight through shoulders, that's a really good one to do, and you can hold it there for a couple of minutes. Press up to all fours, tuck the toes. Let's come back into your downward facing dog. Maybe feel a little bit more space around the chest or the shoulders. And then slowly walk the feet towards your hands. So you come into a forward fold at the top of the mat. Get as much bend or as little bend into the knees as you want to have. Take a few breaths here, again, just swaying, rocking. Let the head relax, the weight of your head, the weight of your brain, lengthen the spine. And with the head really relaxed, take a couple of breaths, get some oxygen running into the back of the head and into the brain. Allow the arms to dangle to the floor if they aren't already. Take a full breath in where you are. And as you exhale, slowly roll up to standing. Take belly button drawing up towards the spine as you roll up. Roll the shoulders down your back. And then come to the top of the mat if you're not there already. Spread the toes open into the floor, either feet to hips distance or big toes touching, whichever way you prefer to kind of be stood in your NamaSTE. Bring the hands to the sides, palms facing forward, stretch the fingers open so you feel fairly active through the palms. Shoulder blades just slightly drawing towards each other. But as you exhale, think belly drawing in towards the spine. So you engage the bandhas, that mula bandha, deeper pelvic floor lift. So you create this sense of lengthening any back bend away. We're not tucking the tailbone, but there's just a sense of long through the spine. A lot of you yogis that are on here are quite mobile in that lumbar spine, so take out the back bend. As you inhale, lift the hands up towards the ceiling, reach the gaze to your thumbs. As you exhale, switch a forward fold towards the feet, working through forest sun salutations. Halfway lift as you inhale. Exhale, step the right leg back, place the knee to the floor. One breath just to lift the arms up towards the ceiling. Inhale. As you exhale, come into your plank position. Take a full breath in. As you exhale, half or full chaturanga. Inhale, come into your cobra or your upward facing dog, shoulders down either way. Exhale brings you back into your downward facing dog, either over the knees or the toes. Take a full breath in. Take a full breath out. Lift the left leg up as you inhale. And as you exhale, step through to between the hands. And again, place that right knee to the floor. Inhale, lift the hands up. And your exhale brings you to forward fold at the top of the mat. So keep breathing out as you step up. Halfway lift as you inhale. Exhale, fold into the legs and step the left leg back behind you. Place the knee to the floor. One breath to lift the arms up. Exhale brings you to plank position. Holding plank, inhale. Exhale, half or full chaturanga. Inhale to cobra or to upward facing dog. Squeeze the shoulder blades towards each other. Exhale back into your downward facing dog. Take a full breath in and a full breath out. Lift the right leg up towards the ceiling. Inhale. Exhale, step through to between the hands. Lovely. Place the back knee to the floor. Reach the hands high. Take a full breath in. And then use the exhale to bring you to forward fold at the top of the mat. Take a halfway lift as you inhale. Exhale, fold into the legs. Forehead towards the shins. Inhale as you roll all the way to standing. Bring the arms out to the sides and up to the ceiling. Exhale to refold again through to the feet. Halfway lift as you inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, step the right leg back, place the knee to the floor. We're going to add in a twist. So inhale, lift the arms up. Come back up away from that front thigh. So you're not leaning forwards towards front heel. Perfect. Bring your right hand to the outer side of that left thigh. And as you exhale, reach that left hand around behind you. Stay where you are, take a couple of breaths here. Take out the back bend, tailbone lengthening down. Reach back through that left hand. I think left palm turning to face the ceiling, so maybe you feel a bit of chest opening as well. As you next inhale, bring both hands back up to the ceiling. And as you exhale, take your chaturanga. So keep breathing out, keep breathing out, keep breathing out, keep breathing out as you lower. Then inhale, lift the chest, cobra or up dog, hips are lifted. Exhale, back into your downward facing dog. Stay where you are, take a big breath in. Stay where you are, take a full breath out. Left leg lifts up, take a full breath in. As you exhale, step through to between the hands, keep the back knee lifted this time. Bring the hands up towards the ceiling. And bring your right elbow this time towards that front thigh. Make a fist with the right hand and place the left hand on top of it. So your right wrist is in a straight line. Good, keep pressing back into that back heel. Carry go longer with the legs, so send that back leg further away. Lift up the back heel. Good. Try and press the hands towards the heart center so the shoulders are spiraled, the gaze is spiraled round. On your next inhale, unravel the twist, bring the hands to the ceiling. Exhale brings you to forward fold at the top of the mat. Strong front leg to lift you. Good. Halfway lift, inhale. Exhale, fold into legs. Left leg steps back, place the knee down to the floor. Inhale, lift the arms up, come with that square lunge, so pad the back shin if we need to hobble the knee. Your left back of hand comes to the outer thigh. On your exhale, reach the right hand back behind you. Straight line down that spine. So again, take out the arch of that lower back. Activate the glutes a little bit. Couple more breaths here. I think squeezing that right shoulder blade in towards your spine. Yeah, inhale, then come back up to the center. Long exhale all the way through to chaturanga. You can still take half chaturangas. Inhale to cobra or up dog. Exhale brings you back into your downward facing dog. Take a breath in. Exhale. Right leg lifts up, inhale. Exhale, step through to between the hands, keeping back knee lifted. Bring the arms up, inhaling. And your left elbow this time is going to rest on that right thigh or towards the outer side of the thigh. Left elbow to right thigh. So make a fist with the left hand and wrap the right hand on top of it. Like a rock, paper, scissors, you've got a rock and a paper. Yeah. Press them together so they're at the heart center. Maybe the gaze lifts towards that top elbow. Very good. Unravel the twist. Bring the hands high. Full breath in. Exhale brings you to forward fold at the top of the mat. Halfway lift, inhale. Exhale, fold into the legs, forehead to shins. Slowly rolling up to standing. Bring the arms wide to the sides and up to the ceiling. Huge breath in. Exhale, float back down to your forward fold. Halfway lift as you inhale. Exhale, step the right leg back. Keep the knee lifted this time. Mini bend into that back knee. Push down through the front heel to lift the arms up to the ceiling. Now bring the arms around behind you. Hold onto your forearms. If you know you have a reverse prayer in your body, you can come into that. I'll come to the screen so you can see that. So reverse prayer option 1 is you hold onto your forearms. Reverse prayer in full, bring a little finger edge towards your back and then slide the hands up your back so the hands nuzzle between the shoulder blades and try and close the palms in as the shoulder blades squeeze together. If that feels too uncomfortable for wrists or elbows, don't worry about it at all. So hold on to your forearms. You still get that little opening of the shoulders. So holding here, just take another full breath. And then on your next inhale, lift the front legs. You're straightening up through the legs. And as you exhale, bend back into it. Bring the hips forwards with you. Inhale, straighten up the front leg. Exhale, bend back into it. Keep the legs as they are. Unravel your hands, come wide to the sides and up to the ceiling. Huge breath in. Long exhale all the way through your chaturanga. So keep breathing out until you have lowered to the floor. Inhale then to cobra or up dog, shoulders down. Exhale, back into your downward facing dog. Take a full breath in and a full breath out. Lift the left leg up towards the ceiling. As you exhale, step through to between the hands. Keep the back knee lifted. Bring the hands up once more to the ceiling. And exhale straight into the fold at the top of the mat. Halfway lift, inhale. Exhale, soften into the legs. Left leg steps back behind you. Keep a soft mini bend in that back knee, but bring the hands up to the ceiling. Wrap the arms around behind you. So again, that same reverse prayer, either holding onto your forearms or elbows, or see if you can nuzzle the little fingers up towards the shoulder blades. Either way, think shoulders drawing back, bring the elbows back, as though someone has the elbows and shoulders and is drawing them towards the back of your mat. Keep the chest reaching forwards and the tailbone down. Think lower belly scooping up. So you should feel a stretch around the front of your left hip there as well. Good, straighten that front leg, take a full breath in. As you exhale, bend back into it, let the hips come forwards with you. Once more, inhale, straighten. Exhale, bending in, let the hips come forwards. Keep the legs as they are, unravel the hands, give the wrists a little roll out if you need to. Reach the arms out to the sides and up. And as you exhale, all the way through your chaturanga. Inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, back into your downward facing dog. Inhale. Exhale. Lift the right leg up to the ceiling. Take a full breath in. Exhale, step through to between the hands. Keep the back knee lifted. One breath to lift the arms up. And exhale brings you to forward fold at the top of the mat. Halfway lift, inhale. Exhale, deep into the fold. Inhale, come all the way to stand, arms reaching out to the sides and up to the ceiling. And this time bring the hands just to rest at the heart center. And then down to the sides of the body, palms forwards. And if the wrists are feeling tweaky after reverse prayer, give them a little roll out here if you need to. Stretch the toes open into the floor and just make sure you're reset kind of on purpose. So feet are either hips distance apart or big toes touching. Pull up the quads a little bit, and again, just create that lengthening of the lower torso so you're not sat into back bend. Allow the shoulder blades to settle down the back. Maybe just close your eyes or bring your gaze to something steady. Feel the breath move wide into the ribs, so you feel like the ribs are reaching out towards your arms. Maybe you feel the arms will reach out to the sides very slightly as you breathe in, and the arms float back in towards the legs as you exhale. Take a couple more big breaths there. Just allow the movement to be initiated by the breath. On your next inhale, start with that wide into the ribs, arms lift slightly, and allow that to continue then all the way out to the sides and up. Exhale, come back into your forward fold. We're coming into sun A's now, for those of you that are familiar. Inhale, lift the chest forwards, halfway lift. Exhale, step or jump to your chaturanga. Lower all the way down on that exhale. Inhale, lift the chest up. Exhale, back into your downward facing dog. 3 breaths here. Spread the fingers open wide, sense the wrapping of your shoulder blades. So drop the shoulders into your back. 1 more breath. Bring the gaze to your hands, bend the knees, step, walk or jump the feet to the hands. Take a halfway lift as you inhale, long through the spine. Exhale, fold into the legs, pull belly in. Inhale as you rise. Again, arms go out to the sides and up to the ceiling. Taking in a second round of A on its own. Exhale, refold. Halfway lift, inhale. Exhale all the way to your chaturanga, step or jump. Inhale, lift the chest up. Exhale into your downward facing dog. 2 or 3 breaths here. You can spread the fingers, spread the shoulder blades, lift the sit bones up, draw the heels down, let the quads feel engaged. Gaze to the hands, bend the knees, step, walk or float the feet up. Landing lightly and quietly, halfway lift. Exhale, folding into the legs. Inhale as you rise, all the way up to the top. Exhale, refold. This time we'll continue with a flow. Halfway lift, inhale. Exhale, chaturanga, step or jump. You're jumping, land with bent elbows. Inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, downward dog. Lift the right leg up, take a full breath in. As you exhale, step through to between the hands, place the back knee to the floor. Bring the hands up to the ceiling, so find that more square lunge again. Bring the left elbow towards the outer thigh, make a fist with the left hand, wrap the right hand on top of Forest Prayer. So press them together so the hands are in front of the sternum, your chest center. Then tuck the toes at the back, take a full breath in, and as you exhale, push back into the back heel, so you lift up that back knee. Take a full breath, deepening into the rotation as you exhale. Keep the legs as they are. Bring the hands up towards the ceiling, breathing in. As you exhale, open round into your warrior 2. So again, take out any back bend. Scoop up the lower belly. Have a sense of lifting your torso up away from the hips a little. Create a bit more space in the waistline. Spread the fingers wide and then bring your gaze over your right fingertips. So you're looking over that right hand. So you can sense an awareness if you're leaning forwards. Try and keep the spine upright so you're really balanced in the pelvis. Drop the shoulders down anymore, let the shoulders relax. Take another breath where you are. I'm just going to turn around so those of you that are watching can still see me. So you're going to bring your right arm over the left, finding the eagle wrap of the arms. If that feels a little bit tricky for that wrapping, then just hold on to the shoulders, which are the elbows are stacked. Keeping the hips and shoulders facing that long side of the mat. Left leg is really straight. Deepen the bend into the right knee. Reach your elbows forward so you feel the shoulder blades spread open, and then lift the elbows up a little bit. Allow your head to soften forwards towards the arms and nudge so the neck stays relaxed. And as you breathe, you should feel the back of your ribcage move deeper into the opening. On your next exhale, we're going to come into a fold. Lead with the point of your elbows. So notice as you bow forwards into the legs, your little fingers are going to want to lead the way. So you can keep the leading of your elbows coming down. Now you can let your right toes turn in slightly, just so we don't end up twisting into the knee. So allow the feet to adjust where they need to. That's it. So your body will be more towards the right leg. So allow your body to come over to the right a little bit, Izzy. Yeah, that's it. So you're really staying long through that left leg. But keep the shoulders facing that long side of the mat. Yes, good. Keep the elbows leading the way, not the little fingers. From there, keep the body where it is. Just going to unravel the arms and thread the arms through the gap of the legs. So your fingers are walking towards the other long edge. Yeah, keep the left leg really straight. Think crown of the head coming to the floor. So look towards your hands. Pressing the palms down into the floor to stabilize you. Some heat in those thighs maybe. Slowly bring the hands back under the shoulders. Keep the legs as they are. We have one more posture here in these warrior 2 legs. Bring that right palm to the inside of your right knee, the head to ankle prep, those of you that are familiar. Your left hand will be near the left foot. It can be on a brick or a book if that's helpful. Press that right knee away from you, so your body will press around towards the left leg a little bit, or looking towards it. So right arm trying to straighten as you press that knee away. Soften any heat away from the thighs. Really deep breaths. Swear through the breath if you need to. Straighten up that right leg, coming into wide leg forward fold, Prasarita. Turn the feet so feet are parallel with the edges of your mat, even toes slightly turned in a little bit if we can. So I'm bowing into it. Allow the head to relax down away from the neck. Keep any soft movement here if you want to, or holding stillness if that feels right too. Really full breaths. From here, heel toe the feet in just a little bit closer. So you come into that wide leg squat pose, that horse stance. Bring the hands up towards the heart center, keep the deep bend in both knees. Again, no back bend. We're not tucking the tailbone, but just make sure we're not squatting in like a gym squat. Good, bring the hands up above the head. Hold on to alternate elbows and forearms like we did behind our back earlier. And then have a sense of the elbows trying to pull out to the sides, but because we have hold of them, they don't budge. So there's some strength going on around the shoulders there too. Yeah, turn around to face me if it's easier. We'll stay kind of facing the side of the mat for a while. Take a full breath in. As you exhale, lean over towards your right knee. Think lengthening that left elbow further away. As you inhale, come back up through the center. And as you exhale, lean over towards that left knee. One more time either side. Inhaling through center. Exhale, lean towards the right. Inhale through center. Exhale, lean towards the left. Inhale back up to the middle. Straighten up the legs. Hoorah. Allow the arms to come down to the sides of your torso. And then turn yourself towards your left foot, towards the back of the mat. Let the feet turn with you. You want both heels to stay on the floor. Feet are hips distance, so your hip bones are roughly facing forwards. So the back foot might want to be on a slight angle to help you there. Bring the arms, if you're taking care of back, I want you to keep your arms down the sides of the body to take off the load of your back. Otherwise, reach the hands up towards the ceiling, so biceps are by the ears. As you exhale, hinge forwards, so your tailbone is reaching back, the breastbone is reaching forwards. Stay in that one long line through the torso. This is Parsvottanasana, which translates kind of to the extended side of your body. So think sideline of your torso lengthening, reaching out through your fingertips or through the crown of the head. Pulling navel to spine as you exhale, really strong through the core. Those of you that are very mobile in your hamstrings, just micro bend your front knee. Yeah, Terry did that already. Let's just listen to that. Good, from there, keep exhaling, let the hands come all the way to the floor. This is where your bricks might come in handy if you want them. Allow the forehead to round in towards your front shin. So gaze comes towards the back big toe. Take a really big breath. Walk your hands around towards the right side of the mat. So you're going to come back between the legs again, and we're coming back into that squat pose because I know you love it so much. Deep bend in the knees and bring the hands up above the head. Good. Straighten up the legs straight away. We'll come out a bit. We'll add it in another time. I'm going through my lesson plan in my mind. Turn back towards your left foot again. And then bring that back knee slowly, carefully, all the way to the floors. If you want to pad it out, pad it out. Take your time, keep reaching up through the hands as you place the knee down. We start with that twist, lovely control, on this other side. So bring your right elbow towards that left thigh. Make a fist with the right hand so that the wrist stays in a straight line. And then place the left palm on top of that one. Press them together so that the hands are in front of the chest center, your sternum. Tuck the toes at the back. Take a full breath in. As you exhale, lift up the back knee, push into the back heel, stay low with the body. So that right elbow stays connected to the front thigh. Really deep exhale, wringing the body out. Stay with the legs as you inhale, bring the hands forwards and up to the ceiling. And as you exhale, drop round into your warrior two. So drop that back heel to the ground. You're facing the long edge of the mat with your hips and your shoulders. Good. Holding here for a couple of breaths in warrior two. Stretch the fingers open. Your gaze is over the left fingertips. Spine is aligned in center. Can your shoulders soften into your back a little bit? Find a bit of ease into the pose. Find a deeper breath. Find your power, your strength through the body. From here, gaze the way that you're facing. Left arm wraps over the right arm. Back of the hands towards each other, wrapping them again. That eagle wrap of the arms, or Garudasana. Reach your elbows forwards and up. Find that space between the shoulder blades. Navel pulling the spine on the exhale. Soften the neck. Deepen the breath. Use your next exhale to bow the elbows towards ground so you find the fold into these legs. Again, lead with the points of the elbows, not the little fingers. Allow your left toes just to turn in slightly if it's putting any pressure into the knee. Stay really bowing into that left side, right leg is straight. Michelle, turn your left toes a little bit more open. Yeah, that's it, and then deepen into it. Keep the legs and body as it is. Unravel the arms and reach them through the legs so the hands come in between. Palms are on the floor. You're looking to the palms. Good. Stay straight through the right leg. Deepen into the breath. Slowly bring the hands back under the shoulders. One last pose of the legs here. Bring your left palm to the inside of that left knee. The right hand is going to place down by the right foot. Straighten that left arm so you push the knee away from you and your gaze will press around to look at your right hand and foot. Good. Julie, see if you can lengthen that left arm, so push into it. Yeah, excellent. So again, a deep, powerful pose. From there, lengthen that left leg, bring the hands to the floor, come into your wide leg forward fold. So turn the feet now, so the outer edges of your feet are parallel to the edges of the mat again, maybe even toes slightly turned in, so sit bones feel open. Bring the hands, like we did in that last pose, walk them between the legs, so palms are to the floor, walking them through as far as they can reach without roly-polying. Micro bend the knees if that helps you find a bit more release where you need to. Deepen into the breath, really nice. Bring the hands back under the shoulders. Bring the heels in slightly closer. So again, you come into that wide leg squat. So nudge the feet in a bit and then lift the body upright onto that squat. Yeah, feeling those thighs. So this time we're going to bring the hands up above your head as we were about to on the last side. Interlace the fingers together. Index fingers are pointing up. If you can see that on my screen, so maybe go into a deep squat to show you. So have a sense, like we did with the elbows, that your hands are trying to pull apart from each other, but because you have hold of them, they don't. Deepen into your squats. Yeah, I know all of you have got stronger thighs than that. Good, lovely. Take a full breath in, and as we did with the elbows, you're going to lean over towards the right, point the fingertips away. Inhale through the center. Lean over towards the left. One more time either side. Stay strong and deep through the legs. Last one. Come back to the center. Lift the fingers and the legs up straight. Oh, give the legs a little wiggle if we need to. Turn around towards your right foot. So again, we're setting up for that Parsvottanasana. Back heel is anchored so it can turn out slightly so that the hips and shoulders can face front-ish. They'll never be perfectly flat, so don't worry. Again, either arms at the sides of the body if you are looking after your back, or arms above the head. As you exhale, navel to spine, reaching forwards through the fingertips or the crown. Stay with that flat spine for as long as you can. Then allow the hands to come down to the floor and fold the forehead in towards the shin. And that lengthening through the right hamstring. Good, Michelle, keep that bend there. See if you can nudge your right sit bone, that bony part of your bum, back towards the back of the mat. So you feel just you're squaring up the pelvis a little bit. Let the neck relax. Take one more breath. Bring the hands back into between your legs again. Come back into that wide leg forward fold. Take a squat, so heels in, knees out, deep bend in the knees, roll the shoulders down your back. Whew, might feel our butts tomorrow. Bring the hands in towards your waist. So elbows touching the ribs, palms facing up to the ceiling. Make a fist with your hands. So elbows into your waist. Yeah, turn to face me if you want to. Good, nice dancing. Tailbone down, elbows hug in, shoulder blades draw back. So with this squeezing into the arms, avoid this closing in of the chest. Stay proud through the chest line. Your right hand, I'm going to come closer to the screen again so you can just see this. Your right hand is going to hold on to the left forearm. Now try and open your left hand out to the side, but your right hand is stopping it. As strong as you like. Also then, think the shoulder coming down your back and inwards towards the spine. So you should feel a little muscle squeeze on around the shoulder blade, your serratus and all that rhomboid around the shoulder blade stability. If you have any shoulder weakness, this is a really good one to do. Relax the neck, so it's coming from your shoulder, not your neck or your face. Take one more full breath. Release it, switch sides, stay deep in the legs. Right hand, make a fist, left hand on top. Try and open the hand outwards, but the left hand resists it. Keep that right elbow in towards the rib cage, shoulder down, shoulder blade squeezing in. 2 more breaths, stay deep in the legs. Last breath. Slowly release it, straighten up the legs, give the legs a little bit of a pat or a bit of love if we need to. Turn towards your left foot. We're coming back into that Parsvottanasana that we have just done with a slight variation. So hip bones facing roughly front. Take the hands around behind you into your reverse prayer or variation. So either holding onto forearms or slide the hands up if you want to. If it's getting awkward for the, can feel tricky for wrists and elbows, that one, so go easy with it. Squeeze the shoulders back either way, so you have a space around the chest. Draw navel to spine, grow as tall as you can first. Take a full breath in. As you exhale, begin to lean forwards, just pausing at the point where you feel your back start to round. That is your flat back position. Some of you that may be parallel to the floor, some of you that may be almost still upright. Stay where your flat back is. Keep the quads pulling up, so the legs feel engaged, or that micro bend in front knee if you know you need to. On your next exhale, continue to bow forwards. So you're lengthening the body down the leg. Think forehead coming towards your front big toe. Keep the gaze, your drishti, on your front big toe. That's where you're going to. Lovely. Keep lifting those elbows and shoulders up. Stay in the fold, gently release the arms down to the floor. Fingertips are going to face your back foot. So a little bit like that thread through that we did in the warrior 2 legs, and the wide legs. So turn your fingers to fork towards the back foot, fingers to the floor. Now press into the fingertips so you feel maybe the back rounds and your gaze can come towards your back big toe. Option to stay here. If you want to, if you feel like you can take weight off your back foot, if the fingertips are taking enough of your weight, lift the back foot off the floor, bend the knee, so your right knee is going to hug in towards the left knee and keep the heels sticking in towards the glutes. It's not going to be for everyone. Keep the knees glued together, Kerry. The knees hugging in. Yeah, but lean more weight into your fingertips to lean back. Yes, lovely, Julie, nice and easy. Good, take that right foot to the floor again. So you release if you took that option. Come through center, coming back into a wide squat. Sorry, last one. Roll the shoulders down your back. This time, interlace the fingers together behind you. Squeeze the shoulder blades together, pull the knuckles down, let the chest lift up. So whilst your upper back is arched here, try and keep those lower ribs pulling in. So I'll just turn so maybe you can see. So this isn't an arch through the lower spine, this is an arch through the upper spine. It's more around the shoulders and shoulder blades. One more breath here. Slowly reaching up through the legs, turn towards your right foot, resetting for that same Parsvottanasana variation, either holding onto forearms or reverse prayer. You can mix it up if you like. Take a full breath in, growing as tall and as straight as you can through the torso. As you exhale, begin to hinge, finding your flat back. That is a long haul game, trying to extend your flat back extension. So be patient with it. Stay where your back needs to stay. Again, those of you that are very mobile in lower back, just check that the tailbone isn't arching up and your back bending. Really use the core to stabilize us, right? On your next exhale, allow the body to travel down the leg, gaze to your front big toe, that's where you're going. Keep the arms lifting up, elbows and shoulders lifting up. Slowly release the arms into that fold. The fingertips are going to come to the floor facing your back foot. Reach as far back to that back foot as you can. Lean some weight into your fingertips or push the fingertips into the floor. So maybe you are welcome to stay where you are, hands can be on bricks, or you lift the back foot up and tuck the knee into your knee. Stay leaning back into the fingertips. Yeah, tuck that heel in towards the boot. Push through the arms, Sarah. Good, take the left foot back to the floor. Step this time your front foot into your downward dog, so slide the front foot back. Take a wriggle of the legs, paddle of the feet, anything that needs to just loosen up a little bit. Roll forwards into your plank position. Take a vinyasa at your own pace. We're not just folding, so as you lift into your cobra or your up dog, just take your time. Let your back kind of come into it slowly. Hold there for a couple of breaths if you want to. Come back into your downward dog when you're ready. Taking a full breath. So take a breath in through your nose, and as you exhale, sigh through the mouth. We're going to repeat that again. This time on your side through the mouth, I want you to stretch the mouth open so that you stretch your facial muscles too. So really deep breath in, and a really big breath out. One more. This time I want you to stretch the face again and stick your tongue out as far as you can as well. It releases pressure in your neck. Full breath in. Full breath out, wide face, stick the tongue out. That's your lion's breath, if we reference that again. Bring the knees to the floor, come into a child's pose, arms either lengthening out in front of you or resting under the forehead or down the sides of the legs. Find a place of ease and release. Roll yourself gently through kneeling. Come into either a seated meditation to finish or a shavasana, lie down on your back. Just have a couple of minutes. So you can bring yourself into, if you want to take a twist or a rocking or any little movements to just settle. As I say, you can stay seated wherever you want to finish. If you're lying down, you can, of course, still keep the knees bent or legs out straight, wherever your back feels happy to be. So just take a couple of deeper breaths, quite consciously trying to slow the breath down. We've landed from quite a dynamic flow straight into stillness. So give yourself time. Take a few breaths for your nervous system to adjust. Often you can feel when your nervous system is flipped from that more dynamic side to the more rest side, you'll feel your body naturally take a deeper breath, that kind of feeling of an release. Same with when you hug someone, it's usually about 20 to 30 seconds in. You get a release of the nervous system. As we mentioned at the very start of the practice, see if you can just keep that united feeling between the breath, the body, and the mind. Keep the mind present with breath and body. Training that concentration, your dharana. Take a fuller breath wherever you are. If you're lying down, bend the knees so your feet find the floor. Give the knees a gentle rock side to side. And take your time, find your own journey up to seated, however feels best to get there. Just stay soft through the body. Keep the eyes closed if you can. Take your time, there's no rush. Let's bring the hands to rest of the legs so the shoulders are relaxed. Just close your practice, bringing to mind one thing that you can feel grateful for today. Acknowledge one thing that you are really good at. One thing you do really well. And then recognize how getting to your yoga mat has served you in one way this evening, or whenever you're catching up with this recording. And then close that sense of gratitude, a sense of self-compassion and achievement into your heart center as the palms close. Take a full breath in. And as you exhale, bow your head to your hands. Thank you so much for joining me, guys. Namaste. Thank you. Good stuff, gang. Looking really strong. Well done. Let me know if you have any questions.
Lovely. Thanks, Danny.
See you. Thank you. Bye.
Thanks, Pip.
You're welcome. Thanks, Lizzie. Thanks, Gemma, as well, you snuck on. Lizzie.
Thanks, Pip.
You're welcome, darling. Nice to see you.
I'm not sure if the glutes will take tomorrow.
Yeah, yeah, we'll feel our butts. Anyone's getting on the workout.
Have a lovely evening, guys.
Bye, guys. Bye, Bernard. Thank you. See you, Carrie. Bye, Cheryl.
I just want to go to sleep now.
Oh, dude, go to sleep. People are excited.
Oh,
Bye,
thanks, Lovey.
Bye, Michael. Thank you.
Bye, love. Bye.
Bye.